There we go. I do believe we are live. So I'll say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. I thank you, as always, for joining me once again on another day, another conscious evolution, another opportunity for us to become ourselves. Hey, Dan. Hey, Shan. Blessings having you friends here. Today's whole stream topic is about becoming ourselves, right? Specifically, how in this process of becoming ourselves, we can feel like someone else. Surprise, surprise, right? Like quite literally, right? So the way I was thinking about this came to me just before I was going to sleep. I had to like open my eyes and write it down so I don't forget. Oh, whoa, it's me, right? And I was like, yeah, I need to remember this one because it is important. Hey, we have Kristen and Joe. What a dear blessing having you friends here. So let me give you some context, right? So I was imagining this process that all of us are going through collectively, right? Some of us are experiencing some difficulties, challenges, hardships, struggles, stuff that is making it a little bit more difficult for us to just kind of cruise, right? Like the road is a little bit bumpy right now. And on this bumpy road, it's almost like we are truly discovering what type of driver we are, right? Like really kind of coming to the deep conclusion of the type of person we are and how we're expecting ourselves to cope with this changing reality that we're a part of. And as soon as you realize this person that you are, right? As soon as you see this fractal of being that you're capable of, you might not recognize yourself, right? You might not recognize yourself. Who are you when you're that person? Yeah, puppy. Who are you? You want some attention? Is that what's happening here? Oh, you want some loving? Okay, I'm coming for some loving. Oh, you're sweetie patootie. Yeah. There you go, you're sweetie patootie doody. What's up, my sweetie? She's so dirty. She's like dust bound. No, please, mercy, mercy, puppy, mercy. Thank you. I appreciate the attention, though, and it's very nice of you. It's very nice of you. So nice. There we go, Duck Dad joining us too. Shelly, Shelly, having. I'm getting assaulted back. I'll assault you back. I'll catch you, you silly creature. You. I'll catch you. I'll catch you. I'll catch you. I'm gonna catch you. I'm gonna catch you. I'll get you. I'll get you. Okay, instantly. Distraction mode on, it seems. Nice. My U now as broken. I think there might be some connectivity issues on my side again or something. But it is what it is. We're here and I'm happy to be. Do you friends resonate with the stream topic? Do you feel like it hits like some part of yourself, right? Let's say it again. In becoming who you actually are, right? Like when, okay, again, right? When all of the other layers fall away, when the layers of survival, the layers of I need to do this work at this time, and the layers of, I'm supposed to be contributing in this way to whatever, my job, my family, right? Like when all of those things have been automated away, and all of those things have been taken care of to the extreme that we don't have to worry, right? Who are you? Who are you in that set of reality? And again, I would like to argue that you'll be more yourself than ever. You're actually going to be more yourself than ever. But being that version of yourself, free from all of these limitations we find ourselves kind of like stuck within, you won't recognize yourself, right? You'll be like, who am I? Kind of like, hello. Like Pippi is like play mode now. She's like, yeah, need play. Need play? Like, why aren't you playing with me? Huh? Your hands look very idle there, Melt, Pippi says. Why don't you use those hands to give me attention? Puppy keys. Shavufta. Shivasana? What? At the end, Shivasana. I couldn't stop crying because I felt such an intense connection with all of you through yoga. And those exact same words she said that Melt says. Her last words were, I'm going to read that one in a minute. I want to share an experience I had yesterday. Bless. I feel you only consensually, of course. Love is true. Uh, New flesh friend keeps communicating with me and asking what I'm up to. Is that a bad thing? My customer came to me yesterday and said, you realize you don't know how much it brings me peace to have you around taking care of us. Gave me a $3 an hour raise, not huge, but that's a boys are nice. That's a boy are nice. Yeah, you deserve it. That's a boy, Brother Bear. I'm proud of you, man. I'm happy that your customer is also recognizing your value a little bit more. Invited me to join her body flow class after melting together on YouTube. I went. It was tough. At the end, the Shivasana, I couldn't stop crying because I felt such an intense connection of all of you through Mel's yoga. And those exact same words she said that Mel says. Her last words were, you are loved. You are enough. I'm happy to hear you're practicing yoga, Shal. That's what it's about, right? Like, unfortunately, and again, maybe like this should be something I attach to it as well. I was talking about it in yoga, this morning as well, how even if all of the work that we're doing right now is automated or taken care of, you're still gonna have to do work, right? Like yoga. Technically, yoga is free, right? You can do yoga for free. You don't need to pay anybody to do yoga. You can do yoga on the floor. You can do yoga on the grass. You can do yoga on hard concrete. Might not be as comfortable, but you can, right? It's completely free. But technically, you're gonna have to work. You're gonna still have to do the work, right? And that work is the thing that we actually like give ourselves, right? It's like proof of the person that we want to be. And the only way you can become that person is by becoming them, right? Kind of like setting out time to be that version of yourself. I'm proud of you for going through with that, Shell. Shell and gosh, that stuff I love to hear. These little happenings that mean the world. That's the kind of have stuff that my attention likes to play in, right? Like slowly but surely, right? Like, and it's small stuff. That's the point. That's the point we keep making over and over again. We imagine global change being some sort of catastrophic level event when it can be something as simple as Shell practicing yoga and melting, right? Crying, throwing off those layers of feeling, and just deeply reintegrating into her state of being. Our beloved Duck Dad, getting a raise, $3 more an hour that he's being paid. Things technically small, and yet they make a big difference to their minds. And then knowing that it makes a difference to them, it makes a difference to us, echoes more and more. I resonate with this, my dude. I'm still trying to stop being the person I was told I was. Yep. That's the big one, right? Like, we are so much more. And then people want us to know we are, right? People who know their full power, unfortunately, don't know or don't need to be controlled in the same way, right? Scared people look for leadership. They look for someone to give them direction. They look for someone to ensure them that they'll take care of things, when it's going to be all of us who needs to take care of things. Meltmore says, beloved Kristen, this topic resonates very much. I thought I was supposed to be what society said. When I gave up that expectation of myself, I remember thinking, oh, I remember this. This is me. Kristen, the amount of giddiness in my heart. Thank you for sending that message. Exactly. Kitty is screaming. This is me. All of the other layers have melted away. All of the expectations, all of the brain damage, all of the manipulation, all of the attachment. And then there you are, like you've always been. Thinking back to when I was a child, I do believe I kept a lot of my childlike energy. A lot of it lost as well, right? It's like 51% of it I got to keep, kind of a lot. And that version of me was just so willing to explore, willing to experience things. Entrenched, is that the right word? Engrossed, I think that's a better one. I was engrossed in the world. I couldn't get enough of it. I would plant plants and play with the mud and seek out animals, little creatures. I would look for snakes. Oh goodness, I loved snakes. I still love snakes, but I concede I love snakes at least conceptually less than I used to, right? Maybe conceptually isn't the right word. With my effort that I applied to it, right? Like at one point in my life, my sole purpose was seeking snakes, right? I would come back from class, from school, and I would go snake seek mode, be like, where are them snakes at? Anybody know where them snakes at? And it brought me happiness, right? Like I didn't need a reason. There was no one who told me you like snakes and you're gonna go look for snakes. Nope. That experience arose in my heart, and I found a bunch of snakes, and I loved holding them and seeing this crazy creature, right? Like it's so foreign. It's so foreign being a human being, and then having this thing that curls itself around your fingers, around your arm. Got choked out by a snake once as well because of my fascination. You want to see that photo? I should show you actually. It's kind of hilarious. Melt as a young'un. A young'un. Yeah, I keep forgetting that this thing makes it hard for me to switch my profiles. So I usually end up just going to it like this. There we go. Melt 6 snakes. There it is. This is me at 11. Man, that photo is so schmar. There we go, that works. There's something wrong with me. That's me getting choked out by a snake. And you can see me holding onto its face because it actually bit me that day. You can see the blood on my shirt. That snake bit me. Let's see if I still have. Technically, I don't know if you can see it really. You can see that little white spot. I think you can see it. Yeah, that used to be a teeth mark. And it was just a matter of, this is what I want, right? I have changed. I think that's maybe something that we have to remind ourselves of as well, that this person that you are is bound to change. And as you change as a person, as you go through moments of transformation, you will not recognize yourself. You won't know who that person is necessarily. And then again, it's this process of know thyself, right? Getting to know, learning from this person that you are trying to be, essentially, right? It brings me back to that whole evidence collection method of seeing reality. Joel, what a blessing having Joel here too. Sending you lovin's, my dude. So nice having you. Yeah. Change is inevitable. You will change, right? But the thing that you are, the awareness of your being remains, right? Lean into that part of yourself and you'll always find stability. I was agonizing about what to ask her, about the want to ask her for more money. I'm cheap for what I do. After all, I decided it wouldn't be fair to raise my rate in season and would do it next year. Boom, universe said gotcha. It's kind of weird how that works sometimes. The universe has been mildly intrusive in my life as well as of late, where it's like, oh yeah, well, you want to see some change? Have some change. Duck, you so deserve it. Love is true. Thank you, Shell, for echoing that as well. I took the family out for celebration ice cream last night, and after Duckling went to bed, I said, "I I did some 11 p.m. gardening under the full moon. Deliciously zen." I believe it's full moon today, technically, right? She hasn't risen yet, but I'll share the full moon from my side with you friends when she does. Should be around close to end of stream, at least. Plants, you say? Plant them plants. Hey again, Joel. Joe Bud sending love-ins. The moon was so bright. It was. I remember, going outside and spending some time on her as well. Yesterday, noticed when I was watching satellites pass by, saw the moon rise, and couldn't help to let out an Owen Wilson. Wow. Oh, wow. 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 Jolly Joel. Love is true. Thank you, Jovan, for welcoming our friend. That sounds so beautiful, Duck. Gardening under moonlight. I love it. Also, ordered some new Duck Dead. I'm guessing that's supposed to be Duck Dead stickers. 300 of them for $50. Full color sticker gang. That's not bad, actually. 300 stickers for $50. Griff, you beautiful devil. Love is true. Hello, wonderful peeps. Let's start for me. Late start for me this morning. You're here, dear friend, and that's what matters most. Happy full moon to you too. Thank you for joining us always, Nancy. Joe Beep Bop, Joe Bot Beep Bop. I let out Owen Wows all the time. My brother and I try our hardest to nail that nasal tone. Oh wow, wow, wow. I also tried. I don't know if I'm doing it complete justice, but I'm close. I'm close enough for you to know that I know what you know. Right? Just close enough. And I'll go with that. Today is officially the full moon. It is. I'm looking forward to being able to see her. I'm looking at the horizon to see her. She's already risen. Not just yet. Sam, my sweet barnacle friend, invited me to Pilates this morning. Bless. Nice. Move your body, and your body will move you. Right? From the perspective of the neurochemicals being given to you. You're doing a great Owen Wilson impression. Made me laugh out loud. Love you. Thank you, Kristen. I'm happy that you approve. Let's read something worth saying, shall we? Are you gonna go, Shell? I believe so. I hope so, at least. Right? Can't deny your friends when they invite you to Pilates and stuff. And especially if it's something that will be good for you. I like this one. It's a nice one. We are made from the very substance of overwhelming love and playfulness. We are made from the very substance of overwhelming love and playfulness. Right? Again, coming back to who we actually are. That is who we actually are. We are overwhelming love and playfulness. And then again, bringing ourselves back to who we are expected to be. These professionals, these conscious entities that know what they're doing, these beings that contribute to the economy, these beings that are expected to basically hold up reality, right? I've forgotten his name, but the dude who holds up the earth on his shoulders. Who is he? Hey, Google, who is the person who holds the world on their shoulders? I don't understand. Liar. Atlas. Yeah. I don't know why I forgot that one. Atlas. Who is Atlas if there's no earth on his shoulders? Who is he? Right? I believe Atlas would probably have an identity crisis if the earth was suddenly taken off of his shoulders. And that's that whole concept, that's the thing that I'm trying to communicate or trying to help us consciously evolve with today. It's like really asking ourselves, is it even possible for us to embrace that true, overwhelming love and playfulness? Thank you, Kristen. There's the Atlas. That's right. No, I'm trying to get this stream back up. Oh, please, sir. Stop bazonking yourself. There we go. I think it should be working. Yeah. Who is Atlas without the earth on his shoulders? Man, that question, I don't know if it does the same for you that it does for me, but it really puts me in a state of mind. I wonder if he'll be relieved, right? Weirdly enough, I don't think so. I think, weirdly enough, that he would probably be more anxious not having that purpose, right? Because I feel like that is in large part what we need as humans as well. It's like we don't need money as much as we need purpose. And you friends know what I believe our purpose is, be loving, be kind. I do believe that's technically how simple it is. But unfortunately, as a society, we have been brain damaged into believing that money, gathering more wealth is our purpose, when it never was supposed to be. And if that purpose gets taken away, right? If it gets taken away, this need to hoard more, who are we? And I don't think that I'm beyond it, I think that's the joke as well. Is like just saying those words brings up a part of me that wants to continue gathering wealth, right? It's a part of us all that wants to experience that sense of security. Again, it's an attempt to buy ourselves freedom. But there's no such thing. Not at least in my mind, what we would consider freedom as a human being. Because no amount of money is going to allow you to live healthily, right? No amount of money is going to exercise your body for you. You can only buy that much food if you have infinite money, right? You can only eat so much food if you have infinite money. You can only experience so much things, only watch so much TV, only drink so much wine. And if all of those things have reached a level of abundance, have reached a level of saturation, right? I think that's maybe a better word. Like if we have saturated our global consciousness with enough of all of these things we think we need, will we then realize we never needed any of it? Right? And it's almost a joke in my mind where it's like we have to do this thing we know is bad for us to an extreme, to the point where we've done it for everybody before we realize it's bad for us, right? Again, this whole capitalist, system. The ultra wealthy are not more happy than you are, right? I honestly actually believe that the ultra wealthy, and it's been statistically proven as well, have more baseline anxiety, right? Like they have even more stress. And you can do like queries or surveys, straight through the spectrum. Someone who has $300,000 in savings believes that all they need is $900,000 of savings. Someone who has $1 million of savings believes all they need is $3 million of savings. Someone who has $3 million of savings believe all they need is $9 million of savings. That anxiety doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. No matter how much you make, no matter how much you gather, it remains. And at least in my mind, I feel it remains because it's not actually satisfying the thing that we want satisfied, right? It doesn't actually give us a true sense of freedom. It doesn't actually make us feel like ourselves. It facilitates a certain state of being, but not a complete one, at least in my mind. There are still holes in that whole experience. What is Pilates anyway? It's like basically yoga. Hey Google, define Pilates. Like everybody who practices Pilates is like throwing rocks at me, being like, it's not like yoga at all. I mean, Pilates is a type of mind-body exercise, like yoga, developed in the early 20th century. Okay, that one's not like yoga, by a German physicist trainer, Joseph Pilates, after whom it was named. Yeah, and directly afterward is like yoga, as not the search terms. It's basically exercise. It helps with physical strength, flexibility, posture, and enhances mental awareness, like yoga does as well. How is Pilates different from yoga? Yoga focuses more on flexibility and broad muscle groups, while Pilates focuses on muscle toning, body control, and core strength. Yeah, that's some bullshit, yo. I'm sorry, I'm being rude. You have yoga that focuses on muscle toning, body control, and core strength as well. Weirdly enough, most of the yoga I do personally is muscle toning, body control, and core strength type of yoga. I do some flexibility work and broad muscle groups, but less. I do like maybe 13% flexibility work. The rest of it is body work, toning, strength. Hey, Maxine is here with us. What a blessing. It's nice seeing your name here, dear friend. Sending you some lovin's. I'll give you the floor. If there's anything you would like to share, I give it all to you, dear friend. You were loved. Also, let me say the beautiful name, Joy, Joy, Joy. Let's see if we can summon her. I've been sending her messages. I can't imagine what she's going through right now, though. It is 8:30 a.m., so I have to leave you guys early. It's fine, dear friend. You were here, and we appreciate your presence. I'm doing much better, Nancy. Thank you so much for asking. How are you and your doggo? Love is true. It's delicious, Sam, with fish stew and croutons. Fancy soup? Nice. The woman who does the Owen Wilson impression, it lives, that woman who does, it lives rent free in my head. I don't think I know the woman you're talking about. Atlas having to hold the earth like he does was, like he does was a punishment. I get it, Sam. I get it. That's the point I'm trying to make, right? Like us having to hold the economy, having to hold capitalism like we are right now, in my mind, can seem like a punishment, right? Sometimes we're a glutton for punishment. Sometimes we like it. And again, right, who are we if we don't punish ourselves like that, right? Who are we when we haven't enslaved half of our own humanity, even more than half, right? Maybe even significantly more. It really is absurd. Dog was much better. Love is true. I'm typing Nancy, and it was corrected to manage. Eva wants to come and join me as well. Hello, Eva. Hello, Eva. Hello, Eva. I'm getting a facelift. Thank you for the kisses. Thank you for the kisses. I appreciate it. That's nice of you. She wants to come and sit on my lap, but she's so dirty. She's a filthy doggo. Like I think I just got secondhand dust, just with her walking past me, basically. So happy to hear that. Love is true. Griffin, yes, me and my sister do the same. One of those things where you can say it and correct internally without having to explain the reference, and it still works out socially. Nice. I love those kind of moments. So this is kind of weird angle on the topic, but I hear a lot of people experience that loss of self in retirement and have to rediscover themselves. I don't think it's a weird angle on the topic at all. I think it's a very relevant one, right? Because it's like a good case study, I feel is a way to say it. Because what we're talking about today is basically a social change, that is going to be happening over the next 40 years or whatever. Like it's gonna change. How we work right now is gonna change. And one of the changes I believe is coming is a reduction of what is going to be expected of us as individuals, right? Like I honestly do believe that our purpose is going to be more social, communal, philosophical, and maybe like leading roles, if anything, right? And I feel like those things can kind of remain even with ultra automation. But then again, we can take our older folks as a case study for how things change, how the human mind adjusts to no longer having the same purpose that they used to have, right? And it's weirdly enough, like not only do we see in those older, populations that people lose that sense of self, but they also lose themselves, right? Where as soon as someone stops working, and this is not working necessarily from the perspective of like actually just contributing to the economy, as soon as someone doesn't have that active, I'm doing something, I'm contributing in one way or another, they die, right? And I don't know if that's morbid to say, But that is kind of an important thing for us to think of, right? That it's not joy, vive, blessings, dear friend. It's so nice seeing your name. I've been here daily, just lurking. Koji has cancer, and I'm lucky if I'll have him for a few more months. It's been hard. He's got stress, incontinence, and he's been pissing bloody urine all over the house. I'm so sorry, dear friend. Thank you for loving your little kitty and for taking care of him the way that you do. Like, I feel, I don't know if it does completely clip into today's stream topic, but it's going to be a lot. it's going to be a lot, right? Like, the worst thing that I can imagine in our future isn't necessarily dystopian realities, right? Or people, taking advantage of humanity. I imagine the worst case scenario is people don't have a sense of purpose. And that sense of purpose leading to not wanting to be around in this world. That is technically the crux of what we're trying to touch on today, right? It's important. It's important for you to know thyself. It's important for you to know what it is you actually love, all right? Because if all of the other stuff goes away, you'll still have to remain, right? Like, you're not going to go away. The being that you are is still going to be here. And you are so much more than just this person that you consider yourself as, right? We've touched on that as an understanding so many times, but it's really about knowing that, right? It can be intellectualized, conceptualized, it can be shared as a conversation, but it has to be understood, for it to take complete hold. Does anyone else play Jeopardy, windmills, tasks, a trivia question? Nope. I'm yelling Atlas in my driveway like a lunatic. Kristen, I think there's a lot of people who never found themselves, thought that they knew themselves. Yeah, right. They could label themselves as their actions. And that's not necessarily completely incorrect, right? Your actions become your habits become your character becomes your destiny kind of vibe. But there is something underlying that fractal in the first place, right? The thing that you actually are. Sam, Pilates is a Western type yoga, in my opinion. Iyengar yoga, in my opinion. Lots of poses mixed with some repetitive movements. Bless. Some people don't have the courage to find out, Doug. Yeah. So recreational torture, gotcha. I called yesterday's yoga ancient Indian torture in modern spandex. I think if you like, just to touch on that fractal before I continue, that torture is a good thing, right? It shows you that you can experience discomfort, pain, and then continue. That pain is impermanent, right? Like all things are impermanent, at least in this world, right? That's kind of the point. It's kind of what makes it so beautiful. If trees didn't grow out of the ground and eventually die, then we wouldn't have trees and we wouldn't be able to appreciate the beauty that is their being. Seeing the sun shine through the leaves, wind rustling it, creating like a flickering effect. So pretty. And that sun is setting, right? It's going to be gone soon enough, right? And there's impermanence in that as well. Impermanence in all things. Showing up with the pain, knowing that we can handle more of it. I think if you heavily identify with your job or identify yourself by even having a job, you might feel a loss. Agreed. Well, I struggled with feeling okay being in the position I am for the last 11 years, not being able to work. In that time, is what had allowed me to be who I am today. And for that, I am grateful. Me too, dear Shan. It shows you that not only is it possible for you to find yourself, but you'll become even more than you know, right? Like it's a level of depth that you discover almost like in yourself. The definition was bullshit yoga, and Pilates are two names for basically the same thing with different names and differently named poses. Yeah. Just have a fuck time. The further my body gets away from the surgery, the cortisol is running the show and won't be controlled. Incredibly stressful, but doing my best to not lose my sanity. You'll see this through as well, my friend. The estrogen patches I found out only help with a smaller part of what's happening to my body. We all have cortisol, but the estrogen keeps it in check for appropriate situations. We'll know I don't have enough to keep the cortisol in check, so it's running rampant. It's purely chemical and makes me act differently from who I am. I've literally tried everything, Shan. Nothing can control it. Jump in, did a few energy healing that helped me stop shaking from now. Much adrenaline was flowing through me. All I can say, Maxine, is that I do believe you're strong enough to go through this, to see the other side. Like, I can't imagine, how much you've been through already. And it bothers me that I can't do more for you. But I'm here with you, and I'm proud of you for continuing, for going through with all of this pain, and for still being a present human being. Love shows us how much we can endure. Thank you for being present, dear friend. You are loved more than you know. Until I tried it, I don't know how much of an emphasis there is on the breath in Kundalini Yoga. Oh yeah. Joy Vive, really feeling for her right now. There she is. Blessings. Again, my heart aches for you. My sanity would go out the window if I were in your shoes. Maxine, I'm sorry to hear this. What is stressing you so much? If you don't mind me asking. There's still the post-surgery stuff, I believe. Joy Vive, sending you and Koji so much love and comfort. I know how difficult it is taking that extra care of a fur baby, holding you in my heart, dear friend. Thank you, Shan, for joining as well. Joy, it's so hard. I went through it too in 2020. I'm thankful that you have more time with him, but I'm so sorry for what you're feeling. We're all loving you and Koji. We love you, dear Joy. Thank you for sharing with us. Know that so many people have rediscovered the center of their lives in their home. The man is angry. He wants his income from commercial property again. It's true. It's true, right? There's a lot of offices standing empty right now, not making a return on the investments, right? Oh, wow, I see, Maxine. That's incredibly frustrating. Can you counter it with herbs and foods, with estrogen mimicking properties? She's tried. I don't want to hurt those around me. I don't want to destroy my life or have the mood swings define me. I want so badly to be able to control it and come back to who I am. And you will, dear friend. Again, it's just a matter of time. Right? Like that's the point of today's stream, weirdly enough, Maxine. Is that you becoming who you are might leave you feeling like someone else. And you said that, right? Like, this is not who I am. Makes me act different from who I am. Being in that state of pain, discomfort, of heightened adrenaline, of heightened cortisol, is still you, right? And being in that painful space, feeling that way isn't wrong, right? There's nothing wrong with you. Sure, there might be pain, sure, there might be discomfort, but there's nothing wrong with you being in pain or you being in a state of discomfort. I feel like that's an important thing to remind ourselves of as well, that it's okay for you to be in pain, right? You're not weak, you're not evil, you're not lesser for being in pain. I'm thinking back to your recent cactus trip as well. Tell me about that, Maxine. How has that been leading into what you're feeling right now? The man, the evil boss, and his money-grubbing friends that own the building. Yep. Max, I know that adrenaline not stopping feeling. I couldn't control mine. I wish I had more of the words to encouragement. I wish I had more than words of encouragement for you. Steam and heat help me. There we go. Lane, Brother Bear, it's nice having you here. Sending you lovin's, man. Those were the days I raged every day, Max. Did I ever get calm again, Shell? I believe it will. Mine is caused by PTSD, Max. So it calmed, as you guys are aware, that I have been working on my brain body integration with mushies. Yeah. I trust mushies, but I don't know if they would help there, and it wouldn't hurt either. I mean, I've heard good things, right? Like I have heard good things, but again, it's a lot of work, and ideally you would have someone there with you that can actually guide you. It was the best character strip I've ever had so far, but no profound spiritual answers. I'm more thinking about pain, right? Like I'm not even considering the spiritual side of what you're going through right now. I'm almost like completely focused in on the pain side, right? And this is maybe again an insensitive way of seeing it, Maxine, but there is like a stoic perspective on living, you know. I don't know even who said it. Maybe I should find out. Honor him in his knowledge. Who said that true living is only at the tip of a spear? Right, while that starts, essentially what it's supposed to communicate is that the only true way to actually experience this thing we call being alive is to be in extreme pain, right? To literally be at the tip of a spear. Couldn't find any information on living on a spear, some context. I think it was a Stoic quote. It's having a hard time giving me the information I'm looking for. Don't laugh at me, you mean burb. Let's see. Couldn't find any information. Nice. But there is a Stoic quote from Seneca that goes, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste most of it. Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for our highest achievements, if we were all well invested. But when it is wasted in heedless luxury and spent on no good activity, we are forced at last by death's final constraint to realize that it has passed away before we knew it was passing. So it is. We are not given a short life, but we make it short. And we are not ill-supplied, but wasteful of it." Seneca. That dude was an actual slave, right? You know how he died? He died because someone told him to kill himself. Hey, Google? No, it's not Google. Sorry. How did Seneca die? See how long it's going to take it. Yeah, essentially, and I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure I'm accurate, is he died literally because someone told him to kill himself because of his... Yeah, there it is. Seneca was ordered to commit suicide by Emperor Nero. He did so with dignity and calmness. Following his Stoic beliefs, he spoke to his friends, embraced his wife, who wanted to die with him, but was prevented by Nero. His death was slow and painful as he cut his veins and took poison. Right? Like, that's insane to my mind. To imagine someone so Zen Mode 5000, so stoic, that they get ordered by their emperor to kill themselves, and they're like, okay. Extreme pain, ending your own life because of your Stoic philosophy, or understanding that there is no loss in this experience. There is only more to be gained. I also have PTSD and somatic disorder. Combined with the cortisol, I'm hulking out. I'm not a violent person, and I have done so much work to keep my mental check, to keep my mental health in check. You're doing better than you know, Maxine. Remind yourself of that. We have Flair, Star Child, I'm busy, currently working, and just stopping in for a minute. But I just wanted to say all pain is temporary. We all eventually get released from it in the end when it's our time. Love is true. Thank you for that reminder as well, dear friend. I feel like in large part that's what I'm trying to say as well, but it's insensitive, right? To the person that's in pain, telling them that their pain will subside eventually isn't helpful, right? It's like, bro, I don't want you to tell me my pain is going to go away. I want my pain to go away, right? And I understand that. Flair, what a loving thing to say in a drive-by. Love is true. One of the scariest moments in all this is yesterday. I woke up with chest pains and still full of adrenaline. I could barely walk with the pain in my chest, and I could not calm down no matter what. I think 8 weeks, I'm 8 weeks in, but I'm still having issues with my energy battery running out way sooner than before the surgery. Your body just needs some time to adjust, dear friend, right? Like you spend, I don't know how old you are, and it doesn't matter, but you spend decades, literal decades, being the person that you are. And now you're not that person anymore, right? So be willing to give yourself some time to be patient with yourself, to be calm with yourself, because I feel like that might be the best anecdote to what you're going through right now, Maxine, is to not be so hard on yourself, right? To not be so hard on your body for not giving you the best experience for 37. Yeah, there you go, right? You spent 37 years being one way, and now something has changed radically, right? And I'm not saying it's going to take 37 years again for you to become the version of yourself that you want to be, but be willing to give it 10% of that time, right? Maybe 3 years. Maybe it'll take 3 years for you to come back to equilibrium. And be willing to accept that. Be willing to be compassionate and soft with your body as you're going through this process of getting better, right? Moving, doing yoga, that's like a big thing for me. I feel like it's probably going to be painful, even more so, going through these poses, while you're dealing with something already. But I do believe that it's possible for you to experience the other side of this difficulty. Maxine, I feel for you so much. I wish I could do something to help. The only thing I can think of is keep consuming phytoestrogen from foods. You're so strong, my friend. I'm proud of you. Thank you, Shan, for echoing that love. Max, it's still early for you to work out. Maybe it's time for you to put that adrenaline into getting shredded. Damn, Max, you and me sharing the moments. I love that actually. I had the pain night right before last. I had the pain night before last when TV sounded too loud and the sounds triggered me. Max, such a big hug. Thank you for sending lovin's. Max, I challenge you to a plank if you can. It's weird that you say that, Shell. Because I noticed that the lights and sounds will get instantly that in my ear. The lights and sound will get too intense. I thought it was my ADHD sensory getting overloaded. It's actually the cortisol. Might be a combination of things as well. Sometimes it's not as clear. Let's talk more. I'll send you my deets. Please do, Shell. Reach out. It takes so much energy to heal your body. I know you'll get through this. This experience has given me a new depth of understanding how brutal being a female is and how men just classify what's happening within us as crazy. I feel like that's unfortunately, again, a stereotyping as well, Maxine, right? Like I'm here with you and I'm absorbing what you're saying, but while you're saying it, you're doing the same thing the other way, right? I have never called any of you friends crazy. And I'm a man, right? I have a pebness, right? Like it's again a projection kind of thing. You're not crazy, dear friend. In fact, I believe, women who have been labeled as crazy just happen to be more powerful than the conventional human being, and that power can be something that is feared eventually. Love you, Lisa. Sending you blessings, dear friend. You're not crazy. I'm proud of you for how strong you are. I can't imagine what you're going through, dear friend. I'm happy that you're not going through it alone. That's the only thing that I can think of right now. Time for healing is daunting, man. I hope you guys feel some healing soon. Thank you, Lane, for echoing that love as well. I apologize for the unintended, blatant statement, Melty. You're one of the very few men who cherish and respect women. That's the way it's supposed to be, right? In my mind, that's what a man is, right? Like, if you said how boys just classify what's happening within us as crazy, then I would have been like, yeah, I'm 100% there with you, Maxine. Because children, right? Immature boys will label women as crazy because they don't understand what they're going through. But a man, a true man, right? Someone who takes on that role of being a man, divine masculine, right? That there is toxic masculinity, as we call it, and then there is true masculinity, where in my mind, masculinity is something soft. For instance, Joe Schmo. Joe Schmo joining us. I see Joe Schmo as a masculine man, right? And from that masculine perspective, Joe Schmo is compassionate, right? He's giddily in love with nature. He loves seeing little creatures, right? That, in my mind, is a man. In my mind, that's what a man is supposed to be. Not this strong and, I'll punch you if you look at me funny, or, I marginalize other people. That's not a man. That's a child. It was a little over a century ago, and there's no need to apologize as well, Maxine. I wasn't, offended personally. I was just kind of like communicating, the potential to re-echo more pain in making, kind of like blanket statements like that, unfortunately. It was a little over a century ago that women like you and I were herded into mental institutions and sorted by hair color. If you feel like you're being marginalized beings, it's because you are. I feel maybe it used to be, right, Sam? I don't imagine it being that way as much anymore, right? Again, I believe the future is feminine. I do, right? We find ourselves in a patriarchal system, and we're going to move to a matriarchal system, right? A system of dominance to a system of compassion. And I feel like, again, it's this weird, almost like coming of story, like all women in the world experiencing the difficulty of, it's just childbirth alone, right? And that's one of the things that people also don't even understand, how difficult that can be. And that's like one of the things, like one of the small things that a woman has to go through sometimes in her lives. And I'm saying women kind of liberally, like all women who have ever lived, right? That's the way I'm using the word woman right now. And all women who have ever lived have been through a lot, right? And we can say the same thing for men, right? Like we've all, humanity, our collective has been through a lot. And, pointing fingers at, who is to blame, it hasn't helped us, right? It doesn't help, unfortunately. It doesn't make it better. It just causes more division. And division is the problem. That is the problem we're facing, right? Hey, Google, define marginalized. Just to make sure that I understand that word perfectly. To treat a person, a group, or a concept as insignificant or peripheral. By removing religion from the public space, we marginalize it. Insignificant or peripheral. Yeah, again, right? All people are being marginalized right now. We have this materialistic understanding of what the human being is that makes us feel insignificant, right? I understand my scale in comparison to the world, and it makes me feel insignificant, right? But again, I cannot be marginalized if I don't take it as such, at least in my mind, right? Like, sure, people could write me off, but that doesn't make my experience, this experience I'm having right now, Maxine's pain in this moment, any less significant, right? Like, it doesn't make it any less significant. It's impossible. Nobody can marginalize you, at least in my mind, technically, right? Because what you're experiencing right now remains just as significant as it's always been. And this current, climate, this current economic structure we find ourselves in makes you insignificant, right? From the perspective of losing your job. If you, stamp tags, for example, and then you get stamped by the tag stamper and you cannot stamp tags anymore, we understand that there's going to be another person stamping those tags as soon as you drop to the ground, essentially, right? And that way of being, not just men, not just women, not just different color groups or sexual identities, all human beings are feeling that marginalized energy of being insignificant in this world right now. And that is kind of the thing that we're trying to get past, right? And again, if you aren't being marginalized in that way, right? If you really realize truly and deeply, accept in your own being that you are in fact not insignificant, that you are one of the most significant things in this universe, right? We haven't found more human beings out there, not yet at least. You want to send on my lap? Which means that you are a very finite resource in an infinite universe, right? You are one of the most rare things that exist in reality, right? What's more significant than that? Like like you did. I don't even know, like one thing that you can mention that's more significant than that. We have Lausanne. Is Kaz here? No, I don't think so. I'm in Calgary Airport. This was not in the plan, but here I am. Hope you're safe. Hope that you're there with loved ones. Dear friend, it's nice having you here. Mel, have you tried calling her on Discord, Lois? That could be the best, probably. Joviv had to step away to get for work. I know what you're going through is difficult. I hope the Mel family can offer you some relief. And if we can't offer you relief, we can offer you presence, right? We can offer you a space to be in, to not be judged, to feel all that you may feel, to know that you'll be accepted nonetheless. Like, I'm just feeling a deep sense of powerlessness right now. There's a lot of us in pain, not only in this space, but collectively in the world right now. And I feel a lot of that pain comes from that feeling of insignificance, right? My pain, a lot of my pain, most of my pain even, comes from feeling insignificant. And all we have to do to counter that is realize that you are, to us, in this space, significant. Every single time you tune in, there are friends that say hi to you, right? And I feel like that is something that we have to try and continue to do, no matter how much the space grows, is if there's someone who joins, at least one person says hi to them. Allow people to feel seen. It's important for us to feel into that significance, of our being. After my daughter, I got really bad postpartum depression. Your hormones and your mind body was such a crazy experience. My mom also had postpartum depression, dear friend. Like, she mentioned to me that there were moments where she just wanted to shake me, basically choke me, essentially. Right? And the amount of depression on top of her depression, it came along with that feeling like she's not a good mother. And my mom had to have a C-section. Apparently, she had to have a C-section because I was too big for her passageway. I don't know the correct terminology. Her hips, her pelvic floor. You know what I'm talking about. So my mom, had me basically alien style cut out of her body, came out of a drugged up haze and then had me as a little flesh baby in her arms, and I can't imagine that being a good way. Vagina canal. No, the canal wasn't the actual problem. The bones, the circular space in the pelvis, that was the problem apparently. So yeah, and all of my mom's children, all 4 of us, were C-sections. And I feel like she, fortunately, is better now, and I'm imagining you as well, Lisa. I believe at least that you have kind of like had those, hormones kind of calm down as well. Love is true. Thank you for sharing that with us. The patriarchy fucks Everyone, yeah. But women have definitely taken the worst of it. Not only have taken the worst of it, but had to absorb all of that almost like pent up sexual rage, even, right? Like through prostitution, through human trafficking, through exploitation, through not having enough finances to sustain your own cost of living, to be able to afford yourself an apartment if someone is abusing you sexually or physically. Like that's the thing that disgusts me like the most about money. It's like, yeah, money is, useful and all, but it's the amount of exploitation that it allows, not only of individual people, but especially women. Like it's a sense of brain damage, right? Like the biggest lie that we've been sold is that money buys freedom. Money is the ultimate trap. Money is the thing that actually takes our freedom more than anything else. Right? It's like pretty 1984 actually in my mind. It's like using words, using concepts, to brain damage our society. Shan, no, I'm going home late. You can't get a flight from Toronto to Regina anymore. So we had to fly from TO all the way to Calgary and then back to Regina. But our flight from Toronto was delayed and we missed our connecting flight. So we had to spend the night in Calgary and we're waiting for a flight to Regina now. Woo! I'm sorry to hear that, Loizana. Like traveling in and of itself can be pretty uncomfortable. If stuff like that ends up happening, it makes it almost a nightmare. Sending you love and dear friend. I'm happy that you have your family there with you. Hey, for anyone who needs to hear this, you should know there's not something wrong with you that people will find out. You're precious, you're loved, you're more than enough as you are. Can't say that better myself. Thank you, Shell, for letting me say it through you. Love has been missing you here, my lady. Love is true. Thank you for sending lovin's as well. Let's pull a card, shall we? Oh, I see, Louisiana. I'm glad you had a flight home after missing the other flight. Wishing you safe travels. 1111. 11 friends in the space with us as well right now. Even more synchrony. 65% there, 41% there. French toast sticks. Let's see what the universe has to say through sacred geometry. It's pretty cold today as well. The wind has been icy. Oh man. Just remember that there's going to be more power outages starting from 7. Acceptance. This one. Upside down. Passion flower. I think we pulled this one recently, even. But this is what this card looks like. Hands cradling flowers. Flower of life. With a passion fruit and a cardinal and vines. These vines make me think about that photo that Maxine recently posted. I think it's in Share Your Work. Basically, it's just a photo and you can see all of the life growing in her apartment. The passion flower. Once again, the wind is cutting through my bones, chilling me down so much. Blue and white. I mean, the center of this card is blue and white, bro. Look at that. Blue and white beat. The reversed meaning goes as such. It's a card of appreciation and awareness. Look within and discover better ways to nurture your passion. Remember to activate an attitude of appreciation. Yo, I feel like this is again one of those things that can be interpreted as insensitive, but I'm thinking about Maxine and Joyvive right now and knowing that they're experiencing a lot of pain and hoping that there is still some room somewhere in all of that pain to find the things that they're appreciative of. Embedded within this imagery is the beautiful configuration known as the flower of life. It is made up of 19 interlocking circles that represent a lattice of pure life force. A brightly colored cardinal, torch ginger, and in the center a passion flower calls upon you to recognize and appreciate the perfection of nature and the beauty that lies within you, right? That pain means that you're recovering, right? Pain is basically a signal for your body to send resources to heal something. Nature, the beauty that lies within you. Two hands cradle and dynamically energize this card. This is a prayer of appreciation and a call to awareness. Gaze at the center of this informational pattern and the passion flower at its core. Allow this life force to activate an attitude of appreciation and fill your awareness of exactly what you need to know at this moment. Feel how that recognition affects your body, mind, and spirit. Appreciation is recognition of the divine nature of everything, including the direction your life is taking at this time. Recognize the value of your chosen path. Become aware of how your passion is flowering. Recognize the evolution of your visionary path and hold dear the feeling of what it's like to follow your bliss. Still feels incomplete, huh? We'll pull another one actually. Let's pull another one. Let's see. Card for Maxine and Joy V, especially. This one. Upside down, new beginnings. Yeah, this card is on power, huh? Let's read what it means. Core meaning is breath, prana, and birth. Shallow breathing may contribute to the constriction of life force. Pause whatever you're doing and relax into your breath. Pulling this card indicates that new beginnings are expanding your life. I feel like it's very fitting for today's stream topic as well, you know, that we are actively being reborn. This moment is a new beginning for the rest of our lives, right? And especially attached to this topic of, you know, becoming our true selves and letting go of the versions of ourselves we used to be. Breathe into this new energy and feel the life force that resides there. Follow the prana in your breath as you inhale and exhale. Feel how your energy is renewed with each breath. Picture yourself breathing life into each new beginning, whether you are birthing a child, a relationship, or a creative project. Inhale life force into your lungs and heart, and then exhale prana into your endeavor. Feel the evolution of your new beginnings, filled with life force and success. Recognize how the events of your life activate new beginnings each and every day, with each breath, with each fresh viewpoint. Love is true. I feel like we are really being challenged these days to see just how much we can handle, to see if we can be okay despite all the pain. It really is brutal. Cheers to everyone here. Be a witness of the beauty today and put a spotlight on the miracles so that others may see them as well. Extremely fitting. So much love to you, Maxine. Let's play some kalimba. Pippi is pulling my blanket open and I'm getting so wrecked. You wanna go underneath the blanket? Sweetie patweetie, there you go. Mm-hmm. 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 There we go. I don't know if the wind was bad, but it feels that way. Melty, thank you for these continued contributions. You're loved and appreciated. You are seen and you are held closely to the heart. As are you, dear brother Bear. Thank you for reminding me the way you do every day. It really gives me strength as well. Sounds like Wolf of Wall Street hum. Maybe. I don't know where it came from, but it's suddenly it was flowing through me. I am also thinking we're being challenged to see how much we can show up and support our friends and prove that connected, this is the way. Yeah. I'm going to Pilates. Love you, dear friend. Take care of your body. I'm still with you guys. You're driving, using text to speech. I haven't cut the cord just yet. We love you. Feels like it's fitting in perfectly in that case. I'm back after a long, help diffuse a giant meltdown of kid and wife. They're going to have a good day now, and I feel good about that. I'm happy that you get to be that dad-like energy, offering some of that stability, man. Much love to you and the kitty. Thank you. Much love to Maxine with her discomfort as well. Kalimba. Bye, everyone. Love you, Nancy. Thank you for spending some time with us. I'm just waiting for a Shan message. There it is. Have the most beautifulest day, everyone. I for really love you all so very super duper macho grande gigantically galactically considerably ginormously dearly melting all of you oh so very wonderfully amazingly smashingly invigoratingly miraculously mesmerizingly gorgeously brilliantly luminous magical divine powerful friends. As we love you, dear Shan. Thank you for your contributions, your effort. Thank you for being willing to share your discomfort with us, dear friend. We care more than we can say. Let's just take a moment as well. Imagine Maxine with a smile on her face, no longer experiencing any discomfort, being able to move in her body and through her world with a sense of ease. This sense of ease, being able to end up helping other beings. Having experienced that level of discomfort, she's equipped with an understanding of what others might be going through. Seeing these moments of discomfort as another divine lesson, a becoming of who she is. We love you, dear friends. Smashingly is going to be my word of the day. Smashing. All right. Instantly, you know the face. Tim Curry approves. Okay. So smashing. Love you, friends, to the moon and back. Thank you for joining me again. Love is true. Love is true. No matter what it is you're going through, remind thyself, love is true. Love wasn't true, nothing would be. Right? There's nothing. Everything would collapse into the void of nothing. I appreciate you, friends, for joining me. I'll see you again soon. My fingers are like that level of cold where they're like having a hard time moving. Yeah. Blessings. I'll see you again soon. Thank you, dear friends.